Well, good Friday afternoon to you. Paul Swanson with you from paulswanson.com and the Swanson Report. You can find links to both of those. Well, I'll put the links in the bottom of this, or in the comment, or in the description section here. It is nearly the end of the year, out doing a little bit of shopping and running errand type things this afternoon. Already have got a post up today, and I posted pretty much across the board yesterday the signing notice that President Obama published when he signed the NDAA back a week or so ago. And you can read those both at paulswanson.com and on the Swanson Report on your mobile device. So we're offering you that option for you. And I don't get what Obama is doing. This is the end of his 8 years as President of the United States, Chief Executive Officer, the Commander-in-Chief, and he's acting like, a little kid who hasn't got his way for the last 8 years, which, okay, yeah, probably so, but he had such piss poor planning and horrible ideas that no, he didn't get his way. And for somebody who is so enamored with himself and wanting to leave, for us as the American public to have a good memory of him, nope, not going to have it. And he's not helping himself by the recent accusations against Russia hacking the recent presidential election with Hillary Clinton, who was just a horrid candidate. It was never her fault. It was the Russians. It was James Comey. It was bad light, the wrong time of day. Make up whatever excuse they decided they wanted to come up with, but never she didn't connect with any of the voting base. But anyway, so Obama's complaining about that, his legacy on that. The Russians hacked with, and he has now expelled, or at least has threatened to expel about 35 diplomatic people. I don't know if they're specifically diplomats. I didn't read specifically, nor do I remember, because I don't know right offhand as I'm driving along here. He's expelling 35 people within the diplomatic corps out of, from what I do presume, and from the story I did see, it's not the Russian ambassador, but it's support staff. And hey, fine, send them home for another 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They get 3 weeks vacation, and then when Donald Trump is inaugurated and takes office, they'll all be back. That's just the way it is. The adult in this whole situation is Vladimir Putin, who has publicly stated that he's not going to, it's not a tit for tat. He's not going to also send 35 of American, diplomatic corps staff home from Russia. So you can really tell who is playing with a full deck and who isn't with this sort of thing. The NDAA, to get back to that, I get winding, get down a little rabbit trail here. Back to the signing document that I did post yesterday. Obama states specifically within the document, and I did bold it, I highlighted it in the postings, that there are portions of the NDAA which he signed into law on the 23rd of December that are unconstitutional. He freely admits it, and yet he signed the document anyway. Go figure. Now, this is supposed to be the smartest guy in the room, the individual who's a constitutional lawyer and professor from University of Chicago and Harvard and whatnot, and yet he freely admits that, hey, there are portions of this bill which are unconstitutional, but I'm going to sign it anyway. Man, no big deal. January 20th cannot come soon enough to get somebody of that mindset out of the Beltway, out of Washington, out of the White House, and let's start moving ahead. Little side note here as I'm driving along, you can't see it, but I love cruise control. I've said that before. We're driving along cruise control. We have the cruise control set at 55, which is the speed limit along here, and I'm getting passed by everybody and their brother-in-law. It's 1 o'clock, 1:08 on a Friday afternoon, and my God, people are in a hurry to get somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know where the fire is, but that's okay. Okay. I do want to, what else on Obama's legacy? In collusion with, Secretary of State John Kerry, who's, a waste of skin and bones and blood and organs. His recent speech regarding Israel and the UN's vote where the United States did not veto the resolution condemning Israel for settlements on the West Bank goes totally against what years and years and years of history of our support for Israel. And what is interesting is that in some background, and you can go search this for yourself, but in some background, the Palestinians want a Palestinian state. I can't draw where the borders are or anything like that at the moment because I'm driving, but you can Google that, look that up for yourself. What you will also find if you do a little bit of research is that part of the conditions for the Palestinian state are that there will be no Jews and no Jewish presence within the Palestinian state. However, and this is the thing that would give you some cause to ponder, is the fact that Israel currently has quite a, and I don't know the percentage, but there is a goodly number of Palestinians and Arabs living within the state of Israel and living peacefully, and they coexist, and they're neighbors and they're shopkeepers, and they all get along fine. Israel is much more diverse and inclusive in their population than the Palestinians want to be. So that's another thing for you to look at. There's a couple of good. You can see John Kerry's speech on YouTube. I'm sure somewhere. I haven't. I've seen it in passing, but I haven't taken the time I don't know. I guess if I wanted to take a nap, I could watch that and I'd fall asleep having to listen to John Kerry. The other thing that I hope I'm going to do my darndest to get up today would be again, because the one thing that we didn't talk about in yesterday's posting regarding the NDAA and Obama's signing proclamation, or the signing message that he put out, was the portion of the NDAA which is authorizes our government to go ahead and basically determine what propaganda is and what is fake news or not. Now, just like the hue and cry over what is this purported Russians hacking of our recent presidential election. Again, they have yet to put forth any evidence of the Russians hacking. And I posted something this morning, interview with John McAfee by Larry King, going over the whole issue of why it's not the Russians hacking that. You can see that on paulswanson.com. But I want to highlight a couple of things in the posting when I get a chance regarding why and how suddenly our government is just running roughshod over free speech and First Amendment and such, and why they want to be the sole determinant of what is and isn't fake news. Guys, it's one of those things that one, it's not within their auspices of what they do. Not constitutional. I would urge you to check and see within the Constitution where it falls upon the government to determine what is and isn't fake news and what is and isn't propaganda. All you have to do is look back in history and know that things like Voice of America and Radio Free Europe and those sort of things are very, very simply those types of avenues whereby the United States was getting out propaganda. Hey, we do it, the Russians do it, any goodly sized country is putting out their own spin on things. But why all of a sudden our government decides that they want to be the arbiter of what is and isn't fake news and what is and isn't authorized news and or news sites, alternate news, such as I'm providing to you, such as my friend Willie Lawson with Fight Back Media Group provides, and the whole host of Lionel with Lionel Media, Alex Jones, RT, Got News, Charles Johnson, Stephen Molyneux with Free Domain Radio, all of which are alternative news sources. They're not, CNN, NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox, MSNBC, all of those places, which are just, replete and ripe with fake news and have been. All you have to do is look back over 2016 and check their news regarding the election. That's no better source of fake news than what the mainstream leftist, the statist left media has been putting out for the last, year and a half, upcoming to the election, and continue to do so. Anyway, that's going to take care of it. Please like and share this. I will put links in the description area for this. And subscribe. Hit the tip jar. It's on paulswanson.com. There's a link there to support us. You can also go to Patreon, and I'll put that link in here if you like what we're doing. And have a happy and safe New Year celebration, and we will talk with you all again real soon.